Alright, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Scott tutorials. Scott Traders Hub. Sorry about that. So we are here once again, as usual. Every day we are always here making money or looking for ways to make more money, and of course seeing opportunities in the markets as far as synthetic index market is concerned. So basically for us here, we are focusing on synthetic indices, and we normally handle crash 500, boom 500, boom 1000, V75, or call it volatility 75, volatility 50, and volatility 10-1s. And then on the jump side, we handle jump 25 and jump 10. Those are the assets we handle in this session of live streaming, and we analyze together every day, Monday to Friday. And then of course as usual, you guys know that we also have this other one for the BTC that we do every Tuesday and Friday, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Every Tuesday and Friday. So today I'll be having one at 1 p.m. Those who are enthusiasts of crypto, you are highly welcome to join me, and I will be analyzing a BTC together at 1 p.m. and of course we'll come again to BTC on Friday. Otherwise, welcome guys, thank you for joining. Thank you Larry, thank you Levi for joining. And now, without further ado, let's get into today's analysis. All right, so we're starting with, as usual, crash 500. Crash 500. I hope my sound is very clear. I got a comment on my WhatsApp that I'm not audible. I don't know. I'm not sure, because if you guys don't tell me that, I feel like everything is going on well. And of course, I also check after the session to analyze the sound. And even here, my system shows that the sound is very clear. So I hope all is well on your side and you're not having any interruptions. All right, so crash 500. Where did we stop at? Where did we stop at? Let me check here in just a minute. Just a minute. Let me first handle these things that are holding me. Let's see. Just a minute. Some of the things that are holding my internet, I want to first close them so that I don't have any buffering in the internet. All right, close. Right. Okay then. Sorry about that. I had to first close some background systems that were making internet to buffer somehow. All right. So yesterday, I think we stopped around. This is crash 500, or this is boom. Crash 500 is here. Sorry about that. So yesterday we stopped around this level here, this. So if I can go to M15, I'll show it to you. This is where we stopped at, and clearly I told you we'll be looking for the buys, not the sells, because of the other time frames that what other time frames were showing us. So I had told you that we will have our entry once we have a breakout and a retest, and we had it there. This was a good retest on M15 to make our entries for the buy there. We had also another buy when price came back to this level. Those who remember that I drew this, if you don't, you can go back to yesterday's video and you go to when I was making the recap, on the last segments where I was making the recap of a crash 500 after 11 a.m. You understand? So you go to that very recap, you'll be able to see what I talked about here, and you will see that we had our entry when price came back to this level, because that is this is clearly a descending triangle, and of course we know that descending triangle is a bilateral pattern, we can see a continuation of the previous trend or a reversal. So but here I was looking at a continuation of a previous trend but breaking on this other side, not the down below, because descending triangles, whenever you see them, most of the times you're looking at breaking, going down below. Here breaking that this flat surface, the bottom or the support trend line down below. That's most of the times what you anticipate. But on this other hand, it was a weird continuation, breaking on this other side, and we clearly see that we had a retest there, a retest again there. Now this should be an H4 retest. Let's look at H4. Yeah, this is H1 and H4. Yes, that was H4 retest and H1 retest. We were supposed to make our entries on that level. Why this level? This was a fair value gap on H1, and that's where we see the retest happen there. So clearly it came, touched it. It is even a fair value gap on H4. Clearly it was meant to be, and now we are in for the buys, and this time we are heading over there, and I believe we may have enough momentum to break out of that resistance level, which is a daily resistance, and probably we will see ourselves heading over to that order block, the daily order block there, to grab liquidity and then later on start to sell, because weekly, as we all know, weekly we are selling according to CCI. We are selling according to CCI. So before we continue to buy, we may see weekly, when we get to that OB, that daily OB up there, we may see some sales come back here to grab liquidity on that order block, then later on get again into the buys to take us all the way up there. So that is like crash 500 in a nutshell for us. We are still following it day by day, closely on all time frames, to get to see where we can make money from. So on the level where we've reached, it's sort of a resistance on H4. If I can draw that there like that, you will be able to see. And now if I can go to M15, I mean H1, we go back to H4, see. Alright, so that is another retracement level there. That is a resistance level that I anticipate, but it had already reached it. So this candle should be able to break it. So once we have a breakout, you know how we do it: retest back to the break of structure there, or to the breaker block, and then later on get into that. So as usual, you have to follow your strategy. Don't follow the market. If you see that the market is buying, and also you sheepishly make the entry for the buys, you never know if it was just a fake out. So you just always wait for the retest, so that you can make your entries. You don't follow, if it is selling, you quickly make your sales. If it is buying, you quickly enter the buys. You will lose your money. That means you are not having a strategy that you follow. You need to have one clearly written in your trading plan that you follow whenever you are trading. Alright, so now I can delete all these. They are no longer necessary. Delete that. Now we wait for whatever happens here. Whatever happens here, we don't have any entry currently of any sort. But on M15, we see that if I was to use Bollinger Band, I will clearly see that the sales are on, and the sales are on, they are just a retest, and we may see some consolidation now before the break of that, before the break of this resistance here. We may see some sort of short consolidation before we see the breakout there. So I want to choose to delete this indicator now and head over here and look at something like this and see if it will eventually make sense as the day goes on. We will wait and see. This is now sort of our resistance, our support trend line down below there. So we'll wait and see if it will actually make sense as the day goes on in the consolidation. All right, so that is crash 500 for us there. And if you guys have a question, please go ahead and ask. If you don't, if you have a concern, if you have something else you want to talk about, please put it down in the comment section there. I'll be able to check them out and get back to you. And of course, as I said earlier, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that we can grow the community together. All right, thank you guys. Let's now go ahead to boom 1,000. Boom 1,000. Boom 1,000. Now boom 1,000. This is M15, and clearly M15 is sort of showing us a double top, but I don't want to start from there. I want to start from where we were yesterday. Those who remember, I talked about this manipulation here to come to this level, and those who remember, it's where I had my buy limits. Those who remember, if I can clearly show you the history, yeah, those were the buy limits, and the third one was not activated here. I think it was activated later on in the day, in the night. This was the third buy limit that I had placed. So the first two went into profits. Later on, I had already brought my stop losses into profits around that area. So when it came, it closed me out. But I later analyzed again, so that it was in a rising wedge there. So when it went all the way up to the trend line, I made my other entries for sales there. So I took my sales around there. I didn't want to risk it, but clearly you can see we had a breakout there. We had a breakout, and it came here, activated my stop, my other buy limit, and it went into money, closed it out here. Then here, as we all know, I made my own. No, these were also sell limits that I had not removed yet. I had put sell limits. I was anticipating a retest around this area to go back there and activate them. Then later on, come and hit the TP here. This is the TP area here. Why do I say that was the TP area? Let me show it to you clearly here. This level here is the same as that level that brought us into consolidation. So that's why you see this move went and stopped there, and then later on started buys again. So that was a confirmed TP level, and it was the sales stopped from there after hitting TP. So these were activated when the TP had already been hit. So I made a floating loss there, just a small loss, because I had to close them. I had already seen that this TP had already been hit, so no need of the sales anymore. Although you can see we had that short sale, and then later on the buys started immediately. So I had that. So right now, where we are, can we make an entry, and what are we making entry for? Now I want to delete all this. They are no longer necessary. Hope you guys made some money yesterday on that asset. We did. Now all this is no longer necessary, and I think just now go to H4. Now H4, we wanted price to reach there and then start to sell. Why? Let's go to daily. We clearly know that daily we are still selling. This was like a retracement because weekly we can't continue buying before we come back to this break of structure. This is where the break of structure is, so we can't continue buying before we retest and to this level to grab liquidity that is left back before we continue buying on weekly. So the daily is still selling, and it is going to start selling now because we've finished retesting there in the buys. We've reached that fair value gap that we've been anticipating to reach. So what is left now is for it to reach at least 50% of this fair value gap, or even get up there to that order block, there. This will be here, and then probably we will see sales start, and this time the sales will go on for some good days, even weeks, even some a week or 2 or 3. We never know, but we will see about that, because we are going to be anticipating a little return to this break of structure, or call it the breaker broke on this level here. And right now, let's look at H4. We are heading there. Momentum, we're almost overbought, but we wait for that to close. We wait. So for it now, it's a no-go for me. Reason being, I have reached that fair value gap again, and I cannot make any sales right here before I see this price get around this area here, around that area there. That would be 50% of that of that fair value gap. So I would wait for that to happen before I can make my entries for sales. So I will leave this at H4, and we will be looking at it later on, because we know that it has to come to overbought there. It has to come to overbought. All right, I think that is clear. Hope it is. Now let's head over to another asset. And before I head over there, let me feature some of your comments in this session now. Just add them now, so that okay, clear. Refresh. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening to my I don't know what's happening to my thing here. I will get to know about it, but right now, when you get back, I will feature them later on. I don't know what has caused it to not to just be like this. I'll check it out later. So let's head over now to Boom 500. Boom 500. This one, I think we haven't made some money yet, for a while. So we should be looking at making some money. We should be looking at making some money. Should be looking at making some money. Should be looking at making some money. Okay, so Boom 500. Boom 500. So yesterday, this was a falling wedge. Was it yesterday? Yeah, this was a falling wedge, and looking at what it gave us here, this was a move that brought us into consolidation. So looking at there, we are still anticipating it to come right all the way up there. That is according to H1. Yeah, that is according to H1. But this resistance held. It held the breakout. So we never saw the breakout there. So it went again back to this. This should be a fair value gap on H4. Yes, it is. It went back to this fair value gap, and currently we can see that's where we are. We are still failing to break it again also. This clearly shows us that we are looking for momentum to break out up there, because we are looking for buys according to daily. According to H4, we're looking for buys. According to daily, it's a retracement back to that level. Those who remember, we've been following this. We are looking at price first come there, grab liquidity around those areas, then later on sell, because daily and weekly, I believe, are all sells. You can see weekly is a strong sell, daily is also a sell there that we can see. So for H4, for it to continue into the buys right here where it is, we can now anticipate it is still consolidating around that area, but we can somehow anticipate, we use our fib, we can anticipate a return. Wow, probably this area here, around that area. That is the only liquidity I see. I don't see any fair value gap. I only see that order block. So the order block always has the liquidity. It's where most of the orders are, and when there are orders there, then it means there are also some stop losses around there, or some profit, some SLs that are already into profits that are around that area. So you want to use it as a liquidity area there. So right now I can remove. So two options here. I want you to notice this. Two options. There's this, then head over there. Head over right there. Those are two options. This is the most likely one to happen. Although we see some support here. It's becoming a support here. What we can do is now we can delete this so that you can see it. You can see it clearly, and now it becomes clear for us there. If you have something like that, means we may see some consolidation happen. We may see some consolidation happen, taking us down below, all the way below, as this trend line is slanting, just like the way this trend line is slanting here on H4. So we now have to be ready for whatever it gives us, but what I know is we are still looking for buys. We are still looking for buys to take us up there. So right now this is a no-go for me. Let me see M15. It is an, oh, that's right, it is a no-go for me. Let's see this. So according to M15, I see some bit of falling wedge according to M15, but I want to, yeah, it may hold up as the way it is. So only this candle could tell us if this retest will actually continue closing inside. So if I go to MH1, I should be able to see that retest. Actually, the retest closed inside. But that could be an error on how I draw my trend lines. But now let's see this current candle. Will it be a buy or it's still a sell? According to H1 and as looking at CCI, it is supposed to be a sell. So we wait for this. I want to choose not to make any entries on this asset today and go ahead and go to a volatility 10 because of the level it is at on H4. It is in a consolidation on H4. We could trade it in 15 minutes, but until it is clear, we could trade it when it is clear. Now this one may even be drawn like this, so that's why I'm saying this is a bit tricky for us to make any conclusions of now. I think it's like this: high, low, failed to make a high, came down here, gave us a fake breakout, came later on, touched the high. So the thing, this is the clearest we can see, and looking at that, it becomes a bullish channel. Becomes a bullish channel there. So we are in a channel on M15, so it means we can take advantage of whenever it is going down below here, and when it is even buying, you can choose to do that. But know that according to H4, we are looking for buys. Meaning, if we are looking for buys on H4, you should look at not risking making sales. If you risk making sales, you need to apply proper risk management for you there. So you need to do that. But for now, according to M15, this is what we are seeing. And I want to do this, just leave it here, and I now go to M15, and then we'll be looking for those cells all the way here, back there, like that, until we get to this level here. Around this level, that's where we'll be in the discount to make our buy entries. That's where we'll be in the discount. We are looking at getting below 50%. That's when we'll be in the discount to now start to anticipate the buys to take us up there. So be ready. Remember, anything can happen. Don't keep forcing an entry where it is not, just because you are seeing the momentum is in for maybe sells or buys. All right, I think that's it. I'm seeing messages from Robina. Robina saying good morning traders. I'm seeing from Felix saying good morning, happy to be here. Good morning from Ahuria, and also Muwilu Dennis. Good morning. Welcome guys once again. Like I said, don't forget to like and of course to share to your friends and family and everyone, of all workmates that are interested in trading. And also another thing, if you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe if this channel is doing something to you. All right, right now I want to leave this at that, because clearly we don't have an entry here where we are currently. We don't have an entry unless we see a retest. You know how we do this, guys, and the retest will probably be around that fair value gap on M15. So unless I see a retest here, I can't sell it at all. It has already left us, and it gave us that double top there. This was a double top. Why do I say it's a double top? If I go to M50, M5, it's a clear double top. I don't need to first go to that to know and understand that it is a double top. It's when you see a formation like that of candles on the lower time frame, you clearly see that it is a double top. So that's why I said that's a double top, and it was confirmed. Entry was there. We never had a retest, so probably we will see a retest come back there, and then later on we can make our entries to sell it properly. So I hope you note that and be ready if something of sort happens, and you make this money. All right, now I will leave it at M15. Before I even finished, look at that candle there. That's what we were looking for, but we need to wait for it to close. The retest that I was talking about before I even finished talking. Look at that current candle. So you guys, if anyone was in a sale right now, sorry for the loss, but that's how the things are. So wait for price to reach that level, and then we can make our sales risk-free there. So I leave that to you guys. Hopefully you've noted that. Now let's head over to Volatility 10-1S. We'll come back to it before we finish the meeting, and that the daytime is running. I thought we'll actually have be on time, so let me try to hurry. 10-1S. Volatility 10-1S. So this one, I'm not going to talk much about it. Where we stopped at yesterday. Let's go back to H4. Let's look at that. So it's weird. Okay, H4 is sales, but then we are still looking for, okay, at first at first this was not there, we were not seeing that, it was in between here. So now it has concluded that it was oversold there, overbought there. So now we know that sales have started. We were waiting for price to reach that level. It failed. The reason why it failed, it had reached 50% of this order block. What is that order block? It's a weekly order block there. So it reached 50% of that weekly order block, and it has grabbed the second time. It has gone to that level the second time. Now the sales have started, but something is not clicking. Let me first delete this. We're waiting for that manipulation, then later on to go into buys, but probably this is still manipulation here. We'll wait and see, because we are on that order block, which is now going to be a support according to H1. Let's see H4. Here, of course, we also have that bigger order block on H4. It is on the same level, so we will see if this return that we are waiting for to head over there will happen on that, because most of the times there is always that manipulation. It consolidates, then it gives you a manipulation, later on goes into the right direction, because this was a clear falling wedge. It has to respect the structure. It has to respect that structure. So either we are going to start buys from this level. In fact, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the level. This is the last row that gave us that high. So if I was to bring my fib to there, I wouldn't anticipate returns from that level. No, I would anticipate to make my buys below the 50%, which is a discount level. So either it is this level here on that OB, or to bring me down below, but that will be too low. This will be too low. This is the last order block there. This will be too low here for the retest, but anything can happen. So either we will see retest from here, manipulation to stop from here, or it will stop, it will come all the way down below, and we see it from that level there. So whichever that happens first, we'll be ready to make our entries. Whichever gives us entries first, we'll go for that. But clearly, as we can see that here, momentum for the sales is reducing every now and then, and right here we can see that buys on M15 are sort of somehow showing us that they have started, so we can now try to understand it better on M15 and look at where we could probably have our entries, green entries. So probably around that area when it breaks it on M15. But now we wait for whatever happens. We wait for whatever happens there. So that is V10 for us there. If you guys have a question or have an addition, I'm glad to hear them out. I'll be able to receive them in the comment section. And now let's head over to V75. Time is rushing. Wow. Alright, so manipulation is done on V75, just like how we anticipated that. It is done. Now the retest after breakout is happening. the retest after breakout is happening. This is H1. So I believe, let's see, there's a bit come back to this OB fair value gap. I doubt it will. I doubt it will. But that's a fair value gap that would wait for actually retest. Yeah, I won't make many entries if price doesn't come back to this level. So what do? This is V75. I put my buy limits there as usual. I put my buy limits here and here, another one just there. So if price comes here, it will activate my buy limits there, and I will be ready to make my buys to take me up there. Because why are we doing that? Because we have broken structure. I mean, we have broken out of that. Wait a minute, I haven't checked H4. Yeah, it's a retest also. Right, so we are on the right track there. I was going to make a mess before I check what is happening on H4. So yeah, that is it. So we're looking for that pullback. That's a pullback here, and then activate our buys to take us up there. Remember, we have some levels here which we may consider to be untested resistance levels, so you just wait for them to be reached. Now I want to head over to another asset. First delete these, no longer necessary. Right, so now we head over to V50. V75, don't forget we are waiting for this to be reaching this level. So V50, oh, I had left here even this 10. So V50, sorry I didn't change the name. So V50, now we are heading over to H4. We are in that. Those who remember, I think I drew this to show you that something of sort will happen, that consolidation. Those who remember, and then I deleted it before, because I drew it with only 2 points, this one and this down below, and later on it started to create all these. So you can see that a consolidation, just the way I had anticipated, is happening. Those who remember yesterday's analysis, if you've missed it, you can always check back in the on the channel to get a clear analysis of what happened yesterday. So right here we are now in the consolidation, and it is a falling wedge. You can delete that now. So price is going to be in the zigzag form. It's going to be doing that. It's going to be doing that until it breaks out on the other side onto the uptrend. So all this, we wait for that. When price reaches that level, we wait to give you an entry for the sales, then we sell it. Right here we don't have an entry on M15 and H1. We don't have an entry. We wait for the sales because we know we are still selling, and we said these sales, this consolidation will continue probably until it reaches that level. Remember, we are looking for buys when we get into discount. And in fact, we've reached discount. These candles here reached the discount. So don't get surprised when you see price break out from that level. and continue into the buys. Don't be surprised. But what we are looking for mostly, this fair value gap had already been mitigated on this level, so we are sort of looking for the mitigation around this area, the mitigation of this fair value gap. Has it reached it? Somehow it has not. So may anticipate one more move to reach this level here, then probably we will see the what? Probably we will see the buys come in. So I will anticipate this to come here or there. That's where I'm looking for. That's where I'm looking at to get my buys from. So for now, I don't want to follow this, because the fair value gap it mitigated. It was already mitigated on this level here. This is where it was mitigated from. So I can't take this for now until I see actually the breakout here. If I see a breakout, then well and good, I will follow that. But for now, I won't follow it. I will wait for the return to mitigate the one here or down below on the order block. All right, I want to delete that now and head over now to jump 25. We head over to jump 25. Jump 25. So jump 25. Let me see, do I have a comment? I have a question. Which direction is V50? Which direction is V50? Okay. V50, we are looking for buys on H4. The buys are just to grab liquidity. The buys are just to grab liquidity. But on the long term, like on daily, we've been seeing that we've been selling. This is a break of structure, retest. Come here, break structure. We are looking for the retest. That's what we are looking for. Are you understanding? Because we have left some big liquidity down below. You see here, it came and grabbed that liquidity that it left back there. So here we are looking for liquidity around these levels. This is a fair value gap there. This is a fair value gap around that area. So we are looking for such liquidity to be grabbed, then continue selling. I hope I've answered you, Robina. If I have done that, please let me see your comment there, and I will if I have not, then please still ask another question or tell me to explain it a bit more. Weekly, it's a sell. Weekly is a sell, and we've been saying that this is a break of structure, that is a break of structure there. Those who remember. So this was a retest back to the main break of structure. But you want to keep selling because daily hasn't really reached oversold. So we are still seeing some consolidation happen there. Until it reaches oversold, then the buys can later on come in. But for now, we want to follow what we see on daily and the H4. We still have that liquidity to grab. So the buys will show us that. The buys will show us that. If this consolidation takes us and makes us daily show us that we are oversold, then we'll be looking for buys, because this was like a retest. Those who remember this line here, those who remember, it's a weekly trend line there. We broke structure there. Now we were retesting. We broke structure there. This can be still the retest we are looking for. At first, one would have said, why didn't it return here? But it had left all this liquidity all the way down here. And if I was to use Fibonacci, this is the move that gave us that. You can't you can't enter buys in the premium level. You only enter buys in the discount, and this is the overall order block that has that liquidity in the discount that we are looking for. So I hope I have somehow answered your question. All right, now let's time is rushing, 2 minutes remaining. So jump 25, we first go back to where M15 was, and V50. Yeah, we're waiting for that. Delete this. All right, so jump 25, H4 daily. All right, so we haven't reached what we want yet. We are almost reaching it. Remember, we are looking for that to buy in the discount. So we have two levels, either that level or this level, to make our entry for buys. We've been selling it, but we never had any entries for the sales because we missed the entries. But right here where we are, we've started some bit of consolidation according to H1. We've started some bit of consolidation there. That is a consolidation I can see there. It's sort of a falling wedge, more so like a channel, but we'll wait and see what happens. But this consolidation, still I'm not seeing it do what we want. What we want is to reach that level under this when it is in discount. That's where I can clearly make my entries for the buys. I can't make any entries for the buys when we are still in the premium. I can only wait for the retest there and then sell, but I can't make any buy entries on that area there. What are we looking for? We broke structure here. But when we broke structure, we can't return just around here when we left some liquidity back here. So we are looking at grabbing liquidity, just the same thing we did here. We broke structure here. If history teaches you these things, we broke structure here, we made a new high. But this move, which move? This is a previous low. If I was to use, I would use this as let me see. I think I would use this as my low there. We would see that actually this was in discount there. So all I'm saying is we learn from the previous data that we have. There's liquidity left here and here, so it can't just return from there before when it already left some liquidity, unless if it is going for the sell. We may see a return from here to there and then start to sell because it would have failed to create a new high. But if for it to have enough momentum to continue and break the previous high and continue into the uptrend, it has to come back, grab liquidity here, and then continue into the buys. That's when it will get enough momentum to break the resistance up there. All right, so that is I want to leave that at that. Basically on H4 we are selling, H1 we are sort of buying, but remember we are consolidating within that falling or channel, whichever you want to call it. It's not yet clear. That's where we are currently. So it's a no-go. I don't expect anyone to be making entries unless you want to make them in the M15 time frame, because you clearly see that we've just started the sales. If you're on M15, so you're looking at taking your profits around that area, but it's up to you. I may choose not to make any entries on this asset here for now. Jump 10, lastly, jump 10. Jump 10. Last asset for us is jump 10. Now jump 10, it has reached our level, but again I had drawn that later on. I saw this being a resistance level, support trend line here. So either price is going to return from where it is on this order block, which will be the order block in discount, which will be the order block in discount, or price will continue to this level here. Why that level? It's a support trend line level there. So daily, clearly we have that, and until we see a breakout, we have no any sales, and clearly daily is showing us that we are looking for buys. So this is just a retest later on to enter buys. So how do we make sense of this today? Until this retest is done, we will have no say. In fact, according to M15, we can confirm that the retest is ending very soon. Yeah, so once it ends, we wait for, as usual, we know how we do it. We wait for something like this retest, and then entries as usual. So nothing new that we don't know. As usual, we do that, we've followed that, we've seen that. That's how we make money, and it works. All right, so I think that's it. So I want to now head over back to the recap, see where we started from, and make a quick recap before we can wrap up today's session. So we started from crash 500, and we said wait a minute, what is happening here? Yes, we are on that resistance level. Until we see a breakout there and the retest, we have no entries, so I will leave that at H4. I'll leave that at H4. Now boom 1000, we want that to reach that level, and then we make our sales come in, because you realize that it's what we've been waiting for to start our sales. We haven't reached oversold yet on daily, so we are looking at that to start sales. And weekly, it's a retest back to the break of structure to grab the liquidity there. So that's what we'll be looking at. So we reach there, we reach there, and then we start to anticipate sales. So here we have no entry for the buys at all. There is no entry for the buys. It's a clear no-go until the sales are confirmed. Until the sales are confirmed. Alright, so we go back to page 4. We wait for the confirmation of sales. And now sales on boom 500, they have started what we were waiting for. So here I can make my entries for the sales. I'll enter 3 times as usual. That is the level we had said we will make our entries from, and you can see after reaching that fair value gap, sales have started. Now I don't want to risk a lot, so I will just put my stop loss just above there, on that level, that fair value gap, above my fair value gap, and I will look at my TP all the way. I can first take my TP here, and let's see, this is 16, this is what, this is 6, so it's around 1 to 2, I want around 1 to 3, so I'll just put it a bit low here, because I'm looking at I'm looking at it coming to this trend line, looking at this coming to this trend line. So that's where I'm looking at taking my profits from. So for now, I'll take that and I will leave the rest to work out. I hope you guys, those who have been with me, you followed up. If you want to enter, make your entries, but please remember to apply risk management according to your account size. All right, so that is boom 500 for us there. Now what we are waiting for is sort of coming to pass on this level here. This is V10, but I said we will wait for the break of that level there, and then we make our entries for the buys. This is V10, so we wait for that on M15. It's still trying to sell a bit more, but we've reached that level there, so I don't expect any more sales to bring me all the way down below here. I expect a return from this level, so we wait for that to happen. Entry is when it breaks that level on M15. All right, V75, it has missed my buy limit. Wow, it has missed my buy limit, but it has come to the box, to the fair value gap there. I will still wait. I may see another retest, so I can't force any entry now. I will still wait for it to come back. So I have no entry there unless it makes a new high and then it comes and makes another retest, then I will make my entry there. But until it does that, I will hold my buy limits there for now. I've missed it. It has missed that. And look at that, that is big money. V75, this is big money. From that level to that level, that is a lot of money that we would have grabbed there. V50, we are looking at it consolidating within that falling wedge, and later on when it reaches around that area, which will be in discount, and all this area down below here on that fair value gap in between here, then we make our entries for the buys. We are taking buys all the way up there, just like we explained, and later on we'll be looking for of course the weekly should be heading over to the buys, and daily is heading over there, but we've been selling. You can see we've been having that break of structure. So now once it reaches this level, which is a support, we may actually not see sales again, because it has reached that support and it has not broken it. So once it starts to buy, we may not see sales again. We may see buys continue, because we will have finished reaching the level that we had anticipated in the first place for the retest, which is in discount according to the weekly. This is the level here. All right, so now that is done. We wait for this to happen. V25, mean jump 25, the sell is anticipated there, but it's slow momentum. I may not make an entry there. And this is V10, I mean jump 10. We are waiting for a confirmation of the buy or of the change of character to enter buys here, and now we will wait for sort of a double bottom or something, or some consolidation later on to break and go into the buys on M15. So we wait for whatever happens here, because we know we've reached oversold according to M15, and we have reached that level there. But remember, there's a possibility of it coming to this level also, because that is a support trend line there. So whatever happens, we just be ready for it. This is a support trend line that I drew. It has touched it 2 times. I will wait and see if it will touch it the 3rd time. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time with me, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course, as usual, today is a Tuesday, so we are anticipating, we are going to be having a BTC analysis at 1. A BTC analysis at 1. At 1 today. So those who want to join me at 1, please don't forget, at 1 I'll be sharing the link to join the BTC analysis. The crypto enthusiasts, you're welcome. If you know someone who is into BTC, you can still share the channel link to them so that they can subscribe and be ready to get the notification once the live stream of analyzing BTC is on. Otherwise, let me wish you guys a good day. It has been me, Dan Scott. Call me Dan if you want. Call me Dan Scott if you want. But yeah, that has been me, and I want to wish you guys a good day and happy trading. See you tomorrow same time for crypto or BTC. I'll see you at 1. Have a nice day, guys. Happy trading.